Hey everybody, Hunter Fisher, Trapper, Trader, Guide, Scout, and Interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with pretty Miss Sheila running that camera. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Today we're going to make a great recipe that's easy to make. It's one of these crock pot recipes that you can set it and forget it. And this was sent to me at Shotgun Red Company at yahoo.com. I better get my glasses on or I won't be able to read any of this stuff. And this was sent in. It's taco bean soup recipe, or we also call it 5-can soup recipe. That's why there's 5 cans sitting here. Let me scroll on down. It was sent to us by Steve and Sonia from the Golden Isles of Southeast Georgia. And let me read what they put on here. Steve and Sheila, this includes you, sweetheart. Love your cooking with Shotgun Red YouTube channel. I have a crock pot recipe I wanted to share with y'all. This recipe comes from my father and mother who live in Gulfport, Mississippi. The story goes that one of my sister's neighbors in Biloxi, Mississippi came up with this recipe. My father calls it the taco bean soup recipe, but my wife Sonia calls it the 5-can soup recipe. Either way, it's going to turn out great because I've been looking at the ingredients. It just looks great. It is the perfect warm party food, and with fall coming upon us and the holidays bearing down, you're just going to love it. And then they made a little notation on here. Really appreciate your decision to cut off your comments section to protect the young listeners that watch all your stuff, that they're not reading bad stuff at the bottom. Thanks for that comment. And here's the recipe. It's got 5 different cans of goodies on there, and it's either going to be, I'm not sure what we're going to label it. In fact, we might even put on there taco bean soup recipe, aka 5-can soup recipe. Either way, it sounds delicious. Let's get started. Come on over here with that camera, Sheila, okay?
Okay.
All right, here's the ingredients that he has on his list here. 1 can of Rotels, and I'm using mild just because even the regular is kind of spicy, and if you want hot, you could turn it up a wick, but I'm going with the mild. Then it's got a can of sweet corn, but he wants it drained. 1 can of hominy, 1 can of kidney beans, and 1 can of pinto beans. Over here on the end, it's probably a little out of frame there, is 1 pound of ground beef browned and drained, 1 large onion, and that is a nice big large onion. It's a sweet onion. I like to use sweet Vidalias, chopped up. 1 envelope, this is very interesting, 1 envelope of taco mix, and 1 envelope of ranch dressing. Now, isn't that interesting? We're going to put that in there. Now, normally if I was browning up the burger and making taco mix, for tacos, I would go ahead and drain it, add a little bit of water, put the taco mix into, and I didn't want to do that ahead of time because I wanted to show you all the ingredients. But let's see what he says to do next. It says on here that Sonia puts all the above ingredients in the crock pot for about 5 hours. It's so easy to make, and then you can top it with shredded cheddar cheese, sour cream, pickled jalapeños, and even serve it with some taco corn chips. So I want to take it a little step further and do something. First of all, I'm just going to put the meat in here. This is our 1 pound of ground beef. Now he says 1 cup of water, but he also says to drain the corn. And I got thinking, why not drain the corn into a cup and make that part of our 1 cup of water? Because I hate to throw away that juice and then replace it with just water. So I'm going to keep that, add enough water to get our 1 cup. And I'm going to put this in. No, I'm not going to put this in here. I was thinking about this earlier, and I really want to do this. I'm going to take this and put it in the microwave until it's really hot, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'll be right back. Thanks for heating that up for me, Sheila.
You're welcome.
That's that juice out of that sweet corn and that water equaling about a cup. And what I wanted to heat it up for is to put this taco seasoning in there, which I would normally put in the meat. Now you can just go ahead and fry it in with the meat, but because I left it out of there to show you what goes in there, I kind of wanted to dissolve it in there. Oh, that looks good. Smells good coming up out of there. And here's the interesting ingredient, is a package of ranch dressing mix. He says you can use the generic kind or you can use, Hidden Valley. We just use Hidden Valley just to make sure that we give you the good stuff because I like that brand. And we're going to put that in that same warm water and corn juice there. I just want to get it dissolved real good before I pour it in the meat. Can you see that, Sheila?
I can.
All right, awesome. All right, let me move this back center here. And we'll kind of stir that in. Yes, I like that now. Now normally when I brown the burger, I would brown or saute the onions as well. But because this is going to go in the slow cooker for a while, I'm going to put them in just raw and let them kind of soften over the 3 to 5 hour cooking process. Now he says 5 hours, but I'm going to check it at 3 and see what it tastes like and looks like. And then if it's not good enough, I'll go to 4 and then 5. 5 seems like a long time on high, at least in our slow cooker, but I'm not going to question his recipe. He's probably right on the money. We'll see. Now we're going to put in that sweet corn. Now you could be pouring this all directly right into the crock pot, but I wanted to show it on camera here so you could see it in this glass bowl. That's that sweet corn that we drained, but we drained it into a cup and made it part of our water because I hate to throw away juice and just put water in there. Here's that can of mild Rotels, and now all the rest of the ingredients I'm using all the juice from the cans because it does say that this is a soup, so it's going to require some liquid. Get that mixed in good. This is our hominy. Now I'll tell you what I did. Because I knew there was going to be a lot of beans in here, and I knew the hamburger would be a darker color, you can get golden hominy, which is yellow, or you can get white hominy. Now, he didn't specify which one. I'm going to use juice and all because I want the liquid, but I'm going with the yellow because every time I make a recipe with hominy, I use the white. So I thought today I'm going to use the yellow just to give it some color. Yeah, see that? That looks good. Kind of helps itself along with the regular sweet corn. Then we're going to put in a can of, and these are just standard size cans. These are kidney beans. Just regular size cans off the shelf. And pinto beans, juice and all. Almost should have got a bigger bowl. I don't know. And that's those 5 cans. That's what that 5-can soup recipe comes from. Sonia named it that. But it's also the taco, what was it? Taco bean soup or something, mix or something. I don't know. Don't that look delicious? Golly, what a...
Let me get a close-up.
All right, get a close-up of that, Sheila. Thank you. Thanks for the close-up, Sheila.
You're welcome.
Look at this. Doesn't that have great texture and color? What a great idea. Now to get a little more to the soup consistency, I'm going to have to see what it turns into once it cooks for a few hours. We might have to add a little water, or maybe we don't have to add anything. But we'll see. Let me just slide this off to the side here. And I might have to have you refocus to get a look down in here. Before I dump anything in here, I want to show you this. And I'm not an engineer, but stuff drives me crazy sometimes. This little knob on the front, this is off, that's low, that's high, and that's warm. Now, I did this in a recipe previously where I dumped everything in there and I just cranked her all the way over to the right so it'd be on high. And I came back a couple hours later and it wasn't even cooking. And I thought, what's the problem? And I looked down, it was on warm. So why don't engineers make it so it's off, warm, low, high? That would make too much sense. So we have to go clear to the right and back up 1 to be on high. Duh. I don't know. I don't wear a lab coat, so I guess I'm not that smart. But all right, it's time for the good stuff. Got her set on high, not warm. We got the knob 1 back from all the way over, so we know we're on high. We'll dump that in there. Oh, it drives me crazy if there's 1 or 2 little teeny kernels left in there. Kind of schmooze this around just a little bit. And I love this slow cooker, but I haven't really figured out. I guess I should just get the directions. You set it on top. It's got a nice little vent hole in the front here. And on each side it's got a couple little latches. Now I don't know if those latches are to seal it down so it really kind of seals all the way around and almost pressure cooks a little bit and then just lets out some of the steam, or if this is just for transporting the crock pot from one place to the next if you want to take it. All right, we got it set on high, we got our latches locked down, and in 3 to 5 hours we're either going to have taco bean soup or 5-can soup or both in the same pot. We'll see in about 3 to 5 hours. Well, it's time to take a look in our slow cooker. When I first poured everything in here, I was talking it over with Sheila. I said, everything's cooked, the burgers, stuff in the cans. Couldn't you just heat it and eat it? Not really, because it stays too thick. Once you cook it for 3 to 5 hours, it creates this liquid that makes this delicious soup. Like I said, I've peeked a couple times. It looks fantastic. And I'm going to kind of cheat and take it out at 3 hours. You can go 4 or 5, and that's probably the right thing to do. But come on over and you make a decision when you take a look in this slow cooker. It's been in here for 3 hours on high. It looks fabulous. Sheila, let's get a close-up. All right, I had to pull the lid off so Sheila could get a focus on there for the camera. But let's take a look inside our slow cooker here. Look how much this turned into a soup instead of that real thick combination that we had earlier. Isn't that beautiful? Wowee. And I'll bet you that this is good enough to eat. This has been 3 hours now, and I already tried the onions. They're nice and soft, so you can go 4, you can go 5, and that might be the right thing to do, but I'm going to dish this stuff up here. Look at the liquid that it produced. Remember I had my little measuring cup over here with some water because I was going to add water to it. You don't really need to do that. Now see, that's kind of me there, but now Sheila, she likes more of the main goodies and not so much liquid when she has her soup. So I'm going to make hers a little thicker. And let me get these bowls in the middle, and we're going to kind of garnish these up with some ideas that Steve and Sonia sent us. See you in a second. Okay, you'll notice mine has a little more liquid in it. Sheila likes hers with more goodies in there. And of course, it's time for the 2 different spoons. I got to have a regular spoon, and Sheila likes that little baby spoon. So we'll put that in there. Now, their recipe calls for cheddar cheese on top. So I'm going to put that on mine because I like shredded cheddar. Now you can buy mild, you can buy sharp cheddar, but I always buy, believe it or not, in the store almost every time I buy a bag of that shredded cheddar, but it says medium because then it kind of works with any recipe I want to put it into. So it's sharp enough but mild enough or medium enough. But Sheila likes this Mexican brand cheese, like a 5-cheese Mexican cheese kind of thing. Got too many cheeses in the description of that, but it'll work. Put that around there. Then we're going to put a little dollop of sour cream in the middle of each one of these. Oh yeah. Does that look beautiful or what? What do you think, Sheila?
Looks really good.
So far it looks great, don't it?
Yeah.
Now, we're not done yet. Now his calls for corn chips, and for some reason I can never find corn chips at the grocery store. They got all these other chips, but all I could find was corn chips that were called Scoops by Frito. So they're a little bit bigger, but I kind of like the idea that you could push them down in there and then come up with a little more soup on your corn chip. So I'll put a few of them in there. And I think we're ready to taste this in a second. But you know, first Sheila's going to have me pose these little bowls up so we can get a picture for our thumbnail. And I want to thank these guys, Steve and Sonia and Mom and Dad and the sister and the whoever was from Biloxi and whoever was from someplace else, and I know there was a step neighbor-in-law in there somewhere that was involved in this recipe. Thanks to all you guys for sending this in. What do you think, Sheila?
Looks really good.
We could sprinkle a little greenage on top. We could also use some pickled jalapeno peppers, which I'll put in mine when Sheila's not looking. She don't like that real spicy. But there you have it. Taco bean soup or 5-can soup or something, but it looks terrific. Well, I couldn't stand it. First thing I thought of was sour cream and chives on a baked potato, so I went and got a few chives in the kitchen, sprinkled them on. Don't that look a lot prettier, Sheila?
It is pretty.
All right, time for a sample. This is only 3 hours. Should be 5, but I can't wait. What do you order when you go to Cracker Barrel?
Beans and greens.
Mm-hmm.
Fried,
You? Huh?
and fried fritters.
Fried fritters and all that stuff too, but you're going to love these pinto beans and these kidney beans and all. Boy, that tastes so delicious. And the broth that this makes in that slow cooker, when it cooks them beans in there for about 3 hours to 5 hours, I'll leave that up to you. I stopped at 3, but 5 sounds just as good. It'll probably make them even softer, but it's fantastic. Great recipe. Man, well, there you have it. Taco bean soup or 5-can soup, depending upon what household you're standing in down there in Mississippi. Don't fight it out because it tastes good no matter what you call it. I took one of those corn chips while Sheila moved the camera back, pushed it down, filled it with a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sour cream, some more of that broth and some beans, and a little bit of that burger. The crunch and the flavor, great recipe. I know you're going to love it. Folks, give it a try. And it was sent in by Steve and Sonia down there in Mississippi. Until next time, we hope you find a recipe on our channel that you really enjoy. We hope you subscribe to our channel. A little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in a little bit. When it does, just click on it when it says subscribe. Click on that. Next to that will be a notification bell. If you hit that and highlight it and do all that stuff, you'll be notified every time we come out with a new recipe. I'll put a playlist over here with some other easy to make recipes. And is this the most delicious taco bean soup you ever, wait a minute, hold on. Is this the most delicious 5-can soup you ever, we're going to have to say it twice, Sheila. If it ain't, it ought to be. If it ain't, it ought to be. No matter what you call it, either one of those titles, it's a great recipe. You're really going to enjoy it. And don't forget, all the ingredients are right under the video. You never have to go to a website to get any of our recipes. They're right under the video. You can copy it and paste it. But if you are out snooping around, don't forget, we now have our Shotgun Red's catfish and crappie breading mix. Everybody's been ordering it and talking about how great it is. You can do so many things with it. And just kind of snoop around at our website. We got some other goodies there just in time for Christmas. And we'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Say goodnight, Sheila.
Good night, Sheila.
Oh man, you got to try this, sweetheart. It's absolutely fantastic, especially when you just pour a few goodies in one of them little chips like that. Got to turn the camera off because this is crunchy too. Bye-bye.